Let's talk about America. Larry Fink saying we're already in a recession. Bill Ackman, one of the biggest supporters of President Trump, coming out and saying we're headed into a long winter now as far as the economy is concerned. The impact so far has largely been felt in the financial markets. When do you start to see this impact the real economy?
If the survey data are correct, we're going to see it in consumer purchases declining sharply in the coming months because consumer sentiments are falling through the floor. That means that we're going to have a significant demand shock in addition to all the multiple supply shocks of disruption of global supply chains. These businessmen expected to be making fortunes at a business-friendly administration. For them to be speaking out after they invested so much money to buy the presidency for this person is also indicative of their state of mind. I'm not a short-term macro forecaster, but we're hearing that the odds now are odds on for a U.S. recession in 2025.
Let's talk about the latest development with respect to China. Do you believe that the possibility of China selling U.S. bonds, it holds about $800 billion in U.S. bonds directly, there are many in the market who believe that that will be the option of last resort. How do you believe China is likely to play this out?
China, of course, has been diminishing the share of its foreign exchange reserves held in dollars for several years now. China is not naive when it sees that the U.S. has confiscated the reserves of several countries now in which the U.S. has geopolitical opposition. So the U.S. took and froze, of course, the more than $300 billion of Russian reserves, technically in Belgium and Euroclear. The U.S. grabbed the foreign exchange reserves of Venezuela. It did the same for Iran. It did the same for Afghanistan. It did the same for North Korea. The U.S. weaponized the dollar well before this latest round of trade hand grenades. So China already has been diminishing its holdings of dollars. The BRICS have been working on, and I hope that they accelerate, non-dollar payments, because we're going to need, the world's going to need alternative ways to make payments when you have this kind of obstreperous and unstable government at what is now the core of the payment system in the world.